So here we have a completely stripped down Laravel app. I got rid of pretty much everything. The only thing I did was composer require Livewire, so you didn't have to wait for that. And if we load it in the browser, we get a 404 because nothing exists. So our goal for this video is going to be to create our first component. It's going to be a register component because we want to make a basic registration page and show how to deal with forms and validation and stuff like that. So why don't we start with a route and we'll call this register. Okay. And now inside the route, we will return a blade view that doesn't exist yet called register. Yeah. Okay. And then inside resources, views, we will create a new file called register.blade.balday.php. Okay. And now inside of here, we want to add our HTML, our head tag, we'll keep that over here, and our body tag. Okay. We'll install Livewire scripts. We'll install Livewire styles. Okay. And then here will be our first Livewire component. So at Livewire, and this is going to be called register. Okay, so we're doing fine so far. Let's refresh and see where we're at. Nothing, we got to go to our register route. Okay, and we have an exception. The Livewire directory does not exist. So Livewire is trying to load itself, but this hasn't been created yet, so let's create it. Artisan make Livewire register. All right. And it just created two files for us. The first file is app http livewire register, and the second one is resources views livewire register. So inside this view, let's say hello registration. Refresh, and there we go. Now let's clean this up a bit. So right now, our register view that has all our HTML boilerplate is all inside one view. So when we add another view, we're not going to copy and paste it. We'll create a layout and share the two. So let's do that. You've probably seen something like this, especially if you use Laravel's auth scaffolding. So we'll create a new folder called layouts, and we're going to create a blade file called app.blade.php. Okay. And now I'm going to copy all this stuff, paste it in here. And now instead of Livewire scripts, we will yield content. Okay. And this is pretty straightforward Blade stuff that you're probably used to. And then in here, we can get rid of all that boilerplate because we're going to be getting it from the layout. And we'll say extends layouts.app. Okay. And then this will be section content. And then this will say end section. Okay. And now if we refresh, everything still works because our route is loading the register view, and the register view is loading up this layout and pumping this into the content section here. So this is the layout, here's the content section. There we go. Pretty straightforward. So one more area that we can optimize and clean this up. Right now we have a route that returns a view, and then the view solely exists to kind of forward to a Livewire component. And this is a pattern that I found myself as I was using Livewire more and more. I had these kind of one-off empty Blade files. So Livewire has a little helper to short circuit this process and remove this file completely. So check this out. Let's just delete the file. Okay. And now all we have is that app layout file in our Livewire component. We can change this to route Livewire register. And now this will just specify the name of the Livewire component. Okay. Now we refresh, and it still works. So if you have a different layout name or a different content yield or something like that, like let's say that you call this base or master or something like that, you can customize that really easily here. So we renamed it to base. We can say layout base, and it doesn't work because of why? We're not sure. Because I didn't say layouts. Huzzah. And there we go. It totally works. So let's revert that back to app. Get rid of that do hicker do. App.blade. There we go. All good. The last thing I want to do, and I might as well show you how I do this. So I named this register, but now I'm thinking about it, and we're going to have login and probably password reset. And I don't want those littering kind of the root namespace of this Livewire folder here. So I really want this to be named auth.register to put it inside of an auth folder. Now we could create a new folder called auth and put it inside there, and that would be fine, but I want to show you a nice little command that Livewire has. So artisan Livewire, here's a fun thing you can do. If you type artisan, you get all the artisan commands. I do this often. I pipe grep and then just a word that I'm searching for, like Livewire. So now it's just going to show me the Livewire commands, and take a look at all these commands. There's lots of component manipulation commands that a lot of people don't even know about. So right now, if I want to move register to auth.register, another thing is, so it's Livewire move, but there's a shorthand for it that's much easier to remember. If you're moving files on a command line, you use MV, right? So you can do the same thing. You can either do Livewire move or Livewire MV. Delete is also alias to RM, new is alias to touch, all that cool stuff. I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. I kind of just added that for myself. But this is so that I don't have to look it up and remember. Artisan Livewire move, and we want to move register to auth.register. Okay, and then it shows us the transformations that just happened. And if we look, it's Livewire auth register, app HTTP Livewire auth register. So simple. I almost never manually create, delete, move, or rename any Livewire components. I just use those commands and they work great every time. So hope that was a cool little tip for you. That's our basic little component setup. In the next video, we are going to make it work, give it some life. All right, see you in the next video.